Alright, so I know it's been a while since I brought these miniatures out. These are the 28mm 5 minis. I think they're technically Minden minis, sold by Fife and Drum. Yeah, whatever, you guys know what I'm saying. Anyways, I always felt guilty that I haven't done anything with these because I basically bought enough minis to do 2 battalions worth. Need to go back and do some corrections on these anyways, like the musket slings need to be a different color, the hair, the ponytail needs to be changed to like a black ribbon because it's not actually the ponytail, it's actually a ribbon, not a braid, because they don't include instructions on the, unpainted miniatures, so you don't find that stuff out until afterwards. A couple other details areas. But anyways, because originally I was going to do some 7 years worth stuff with them, and I ended up switching to the 15mm. And, but I was always kind of guilty with what to do with these. So I've got them, and I just don't want to not do them. And I don't want to sell them, I still want to do something with them. But I'm doing 7 years war in 15mm, so I was like, well, what the heck am I going to do with them? So I said, F it. Kind of made up my own little imagination thing, so I'm going to start doing an imagination project. Oh, yeah. Don't yell at me, because I keep bouncing back and forth between stuff and I never get anything done. These guys are so close, I might as well stick with these. Do something with the touch-up, at the very least. I don't know. But I've got a couple other stuff to do. I went out and got recommendations for flagpoles, and I bought these spears to use as flagpoles, cut them down a little bit, and then make the perfect size flagpole, nice thickness and all that stuff. So I got a whole bunch of those. But I was bored sitting in a not home place for a long period of time, so I ended up making an order of stuff for my Imagi-Nations project from the Fife and Drum miniatures. Oh dear God. What am I doing? I don't know, let's take a look. So real quick, talking about the Imagi-Nations campaign, talk about this book, the Solo Wargaming Guide by William Sylvester. I was actually introduced to this book by the Joy of Wargaming channel. He's doing a solo campaign using 2mm Napoleonics, using this book as kind of the basic guide. And I thought it looked pretty interesting, so I decided to pick it up for myself. And it's a set of, it's not a set of rules to play a game by. It's a set of guidelines and charts and ideas to help you play a war game campaign solo. And I'm going to base my Imagi-Nations campaign using these rules, even though it's not going to be strictly solo. It's probably going to have other player input, though most of the behind the scenes decision making stuff, all the paperwork kind of stuff, is going to be solo. But anyways, so kind of use this book as a guide to help come up with an idea for a map, and I'll put that up on the screen right now. So with that map and all the different dots that represent cities and stuff like that, using this book as a guide to figure out how much army basically each country would have, I was able to come up with an order of battle. And through that order of battle, then I put in an order with Fife and Drum Mini to help start getting a heads up on this project. All right, here we go. So basically what we have is I got all of the artillery. I just went ahead and just bought all the artillery that I would need for the two sides. I'm basing it broadly on Prussia and Austria because at least as far as organization goes, uniform types and stuff like that. But they'll be different colors. But anyways, these are all the artillery crew. And for those of you who haven't seen Ninja Miniature stuff before, I mean, these guys are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I bought those other bags and stuff, and it'd be a shame to just let them collect dust. So I know some people are going to shed some tears that I'm not painting them up historically, but you know what? You didn't buy them. I don't care. If you want to buy them from me, that's a different story. But you didn't buy my toys. I'll paint them however I want. But anyway, so there's the Austrian dudes. Here's the Prussian dudes. And then I already had a handful of artillery, so there was like two guns or whatever. But anyways, I got a Prussian Brummer to kind of represent that side's, like siege artillery or super heavy artillery. Then I got a couple 12-pounders. Here's a 10-pound howitzer to represent that, like a heavy howitzer. A bunch of Prussian 6-pounders. And then on this side, here's an Austrian 12-pounder. This is Austrian 7-pound howitzer. And then we got a couple Austrian 6-pounders. And then a couple Austrian 3-pounders. And then Austrians didn't, Minden miniatures and 5 and drum miniatures, they didn't have like an Austrian equivalent of a Brummer that I could use as like a super heavy gun. So instead I just decided to buy a Russian 12-pound unicorn. I'm going to use that to represent their like siege artillery. So yeah, that's what I got going. Haven't figured out the Austrian artillery colors yet as far as the carriages. The Prussian carriages, I should just so I can't. I haven't quite formalized the country's name, the Imagi-Nations names yet. But the country that would be using Prussian equipment, their artillery is probably going to be like a blue gray, kind of like what is it? Is this color? Kind of maybe that color as a base. Or something a little darker, and that would be the highlight color for it, or something. I don't know. But something along those lines. Kind of like doing a, the British colored carriages. Austrians haven't gotten that far yet. Not going to be yellow. I'm leaning maybe towards red, because that's going to be the primary uniform color of their infantry. It's red. But yeah, so that's what I've got. Call me a glutton for punishment, because it's not like I don't have other stuff to paint. But anyways, it'll give you something to do. And the artillery, artillery is easy peasy. I can get done with one of my 15mm projects and then say, oh, okay, I'm just going to paint, a gun. So I don't get myself too burned out on this. It's nice to kind of change it up a little bit. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Yep, glutton for punishment. Don't at me. Bye.